This is the era of the side hustle, whether it's hawking beauty products on YouTube or driving for a ride-sharing service. Americans are increasingly pursuing extra cash in their spare time. But a new survey of 1,000 U.S. adults by Banking Grades reveals that it's a necessity for many Americans to work a side gig just to make ends meet. Some 46% of Americans say they have taken on a side hustle to make enough money to get by and cover basic expenses. An additional 26% said they do it to have enough money to reach a savings goal, for instance, a down payment on a house, while nearly 25% say they need a side gig to have enough money to get out of debt or pay off a loan. For 23%, it's just an opportunity to pursue a hobby or have some fun while making extra cash. When asked how they spend their side hustle cash, 50% of respondents said they use it on paying bills and basic necessities, while 22% said they splurge on luxury items and vacations. The most common way that people said they made extra money was by buying and selling products online, working on cars, cleaning houses, waiting tables and landscaping. Surprisingly, working for a ride-sharing service or dog walking didn't make the top 10 list of most popular side hustles. While the stereotype is that millennials are leading the way in the gig economy, Generation X, age 35-44 for the survey, had the highest share of people who currently had a side hustle, at 38%. However, older generations are signaling that the gig economy may not be as new as we think. Nearly 82% of Americans age 65 and older and 74% of baby boomers, age 55-64, say they had one or more side hustles at some point in the past. Share this article. More than 60% of survey respondents who have a side hustle said that they spend 15 hours or less each week on the side gig. To break that out further, 12% spend less than an hour a week, while 20% spend 5 hours and 18% spend 5-10 hours. An additional 13% said they spend 10-15 hours on the side gig. However, nearly 10% of Americans spend 15-20 hours a week, roughly 3-4 hours a day on top of their regular job, working their side hustle. Nearly 7% work 20-25 extra hours. Side hustles come with a cost. About 28% of Americans with a side gig said that the extra work has created stress and strain in their everyday lives. Women were slightly more likely than men, 29.5% versus percent, respectively, to say that their side hustle had affected them negatively. In addition, younger adults were more likely to say the same thing. 34% of people age 18-24 reported a negative effect, compared to almost 28% of people ages 45-54, and about 19% of respondents ages 65 and older. When asked what they prefer, 21% of Americans favor their full-time job over the side hustle, while 26% enjoy their side hustle more. Some 30% said they enjoy their full-time job and side hustle equally. Overall, the findings echo data from the General Social Survey, a comprehensive poll that has tracked American attitudes and beliefs since 1972. An exclusive DailyMail.com analysis of GSS data recently revealed that just 49% of Americans say their job income alone is enough to pay the bills, and women and African Americans are most likely to say they struggle to make ends meet. The numbers still represent an improvement compared to the 58% who said they couldn't survive on their paycheck alone in 2010, when the U.S. was still in the midst of the Great Recession. Financial circumstances break along gender lines, with just 36% of American women, compared to 62% of men, saying that their primary income is enough to pay the bills. The survey data also revealed a racial divide, with 51% of white Americans able to pay the bills with their paycheck alone, compared to just 39% of African Americans. White Americans have seen a steady uptick in the share of that population who feel they can afford to make ends meet on their paycheck, increasing from 42% in 2010 to 51% in 2018. African Americans, however, have seen a decline since a peak of 48% in 2000.